Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be unshakable? To walk through the chaos of life and remain unmoved by it? To hear the noise of the world, the judgments, the pressures, the endless demands, and still remain calm, like a mountain untouched by the wind? There is a kind of strength that does not need to shout, a calm that does not rise and fall with the opinions of others. It is not something found in books or bought in stores. It is something you awaken quietly, patiently from deep within. Today, we are not merely speaking about peace. We are stepping into 8 rare and powerful Buddhist teachings that can transform the way you experience the world. These are not dusty philosophies meant only for monks in distant temples. They are timeless truths, relevant to the modern soul, to anyone who is tired of being pulled in every direction, tired of feeling anxious, reactive, or lost. These teachings will show you how to return to your center, to discover a peace so deeply rooted that nothing outside of you can disturb it. As the Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. So if you are ready to return home to that stillness, to reclaim your inner power, and to move through life with unshakable calm, stay with me. What you are about to hear may not simply be a lesson, it may be the moment everything begins to shift. Lesson 1. Anchor yourself with purpose. There is a quiet strength that rises from knowing who you are and why you walk the path you are on. In a world that constantly pulls you in 100 different directions, having a clear sense of purpose is like planting your feet firmly into the earth. No matter how strong the winds of life may blow, you remain rooted. When you know what truly matters to you, when your values and goals are grounded in something meaningful, you begin to move with a different kind of energy. Not rushed, not reactive, but steady, intentional, and aware. Your purpose becomes your compass. It not only points you forward, but also gives you the strength to move through uncertainty without losing yourself. The Buddha once said, your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart, to give yourself to it. This is not merely about career or ambition. It is about discovering what brings your soul to life and then committing to it fully. Each morning, before the world begins to ask for your attention, return to your inner map. Ask yourself, what do I truly care about? What do I want to build? Who am I becoming? These are not small questions. They are spiritual practices. When you take the time to reconnect with your purpose, you strengthen your inner foundation, the part of you that does not panic when life becomes uncertain. Even when obstacles arise, even when doubt creeps in, your purpose will keep you grounded, like a ship that does not drift off course, no matter how stormy the sea becomes. So begin each day not with fear or haste, but with a quiet return to what matters. Let your purpose be your guide, your fire, your reminder of why you began this journey in the first place. Because when you walk with that kind of clarity, the world may shake, but you will not. Lesson 2. Mastering the art of inner shielding. There is a rare and quiet power that arises when you stop giving the outside world permission to disturb your peace. In Buddhist thought, much of our suffering is not caused by events themselves, but by how we respond to them. We often believe others are hurting us, but more often it is our own reactions, our attachments, our inner storms that create the true pain. The truth is this: no one can disturb your inner calm unless you hand them the key. And once you realize this, you begin to reclaim your power. Consider this: someone criticizes you, disrespects you, or tries to get under your skin. And instead of reacting with anger or hurt, you pause, you breathe, you see the moment clearly for what it truly is: fleeting, external, and not a reflection of your worth. In that space of awareness, you make a powerful choice. You choose not to absorb it. You choose not to allow it to define your state of mind. In doing so, you become untouchable, not because the world has stopped being harsh, but because you have stopped letting it control your emotions. The Buddha once said, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. And how true that is. Anger burns the one who holds it. It clouds judgment, poisons relationships, and leaves you feeling empty once the fire fades. But when you resist the pull of anger, when you meet it with stillness rather than reaction, you step into a kind of freedom that most people never experience. To master this inner shield is not to become cold or indifferent. It is to become deeply wise. It means you still feel, you still care, but you choose your responses with clarity. You do not let someone else's mood become your own. You do not allow every unkind word to enter your spirit. With practice, you will find that the sting of insults weakens, the pressure of conflict lessens, and the chaos around you no longer echoes inside of you. So, the next time you feel provoked or wounded, pause. Do not rush to react. Let the emotion rise and let it pass, like a cloud floating through an open sky. Because you are not that cloud. You are the sky itself, vast, unshaken, and free. Remember this. Your peace is sacred, and you are the guardian of it. Choose to respond, not to react. Choose to protect your stillness, not to surrender it. When you do, you become something rare in this world, a soul that walks through fire and remains untouched. Lesson 3. The wisdom of non-reaction. At some point in life, someone will misunderstand you. They may insult you, belittle you, or speak to you with cruelty. And in that moment, you will feel the familiar sting, the heat rising in your chest, the urge to defend yourself, to fight back, to prove your worth. But Buddhism teaches a quieter strength, the power not to react, the power to remain still, even when provoked, because what someone says to you often reveals far more about them than it ever will about you. When a person lashes out, it usually comes from a place of inner pain. Anger, they do not understand. Insecurity, they have not healed. Or sorrow, they do not know how to carry. Their words are not a reflection of your worth. They are a mirror of their own suffering. And when you truly recognize this, something within you shifts. You stop taking things so personally. You stop absorbing poison that was never yours to begin with. The Buddha once said, "Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love." This is the eternal rule. When we react with anger, we multiply it. When we respond with calm, we dissolve it. So the next time someone speaks to you with harshness or disrespect, pause. Not because you are weak, but because you are in control. You are choosing not to give away your peace to every passing opinion. You are refusing to let someone else's wound open a wound within you. This does not mean you must stay silent. It does not mean you must accept injustice. It means you learn to respond not from ego, but from wisdom. You speak not to harm, but to heal. And sometimes, the greatest strength is found in saying nothing at all, allowing their words to fall to the ground, without ever reaching your heart. As you practice this, you will begin to notice something beautiful. Insults lose their power. Offense becomes optional. You stop being a slave to the behavior of others. You become the master of your own peace. So when others try to pull you into their chaos, remember this. You are not here to carry their pain. You are here to protect your stillness, to move through the fire and not be burned. In every insult, there is a choice, and you hold the power to choose peace. Lesson 4. When your name is spoken without truth. There will be times in life when your name is carried into rooms you have never walked into, whispered with misunderstanding, twisted by judgment, or colored by someone else's pain. It is only human to feel the sting of being spoken about unfairly. But the teachings of the Buddha remind us that peace is not found in controlling others. It is found in mastering ourselves. When someone speaks ill of you, pause before you respond. Their words are not truly about you, they are about them. Their criticism is often a reflection of their own wounds, their own inner storms. And when you realize this, you take back your power. Imagine someone throwing dust into the wind. That dust does not harm the sky. In the same way, another person's harsh words do not define your essence. The Buddha said, Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you. That trouble may return to them, but it does not need to reach you unless you open your hands and catch it. Their negativity is their path. Your response is yours. When someone speaks with bitterness, meet it with silence or even with compassion, not because you agree with their words, but because you refuse to let their words darken your spirit. You are not here to defend every version of yourself that exists in someone else's mind. You are here to live truthfully, to walk with grace, to let your actions speak far louder than your critics ever could. Stay close to your values. Be kind, honest, and steady. Let your life be your answer. Those who truly know you, who see how you live, how you love, how you carry yourself, will not be swayed by rumors or small minds. And those who judge you without knowing you were never your responsibility in the first place. There is great freedom in letting go of the need to be understood by everyone. When your peace no longer depends on public opinion, you become untouchable in the most sacred way. So the next time someone speaks your name with ill intent, do not allow their words to reach your heart. Let them fall like leaves from a tree, noticed, but not held. Your peace is too precious to be shaped by someone else's misunderstanding. Let your life be the quiet proof of who you truly are. Lesson 5. The Garden of the Mind. What you plant, you become. Your mind is sacred ground, a garden only you can enter. Whether it grows into a place of peace or chaos depends on what you choose to plant and nurture. Many do not realize that the world outside often reflects the world within. Buddhism teaches that the mind is the source of all joy and suffering. As the Buddha said, what you think, you become. If your thoughts are filled with fear, anger, comparison, and doubt, even bright days will feel dim. But if your mind is rooted in stillness, kindness, and clarity, you will stand calm, even in storms. Guarding your mind does not mean ignoring darkness. It means not feeding it and being a mindful gardener, choosing carefully what to let in and what to gently release. When envy or resentment arises, do not open the door. When shame whispers, sit quietly and let it pass like a cloud. There will be weeds, old traumas and fears, but they grow only when you stop tending your garden. So begin again gently. When negative thoughts appear, recognize them without judgment and choose a kinder thought or story. Over time, your mind becomes less reactive and more peaceful, not because life is easier, but because you are clearer. In a world full of distractions, guarding your mind also means protecting your energy. Be mindful of what you consume: the news, voices, and environments. Not all information nourishes. Not all company heals. Choose your influences carefully. Let your mind be a sacred place, not a dumping ground for chaos. Mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool. It helps you watch your thoughts rather than chase them. You begin to see that you're not your thoughts, but the quiet space beneath them. With practice, it becomes easier to pause, redirect, and breathe before reacting. Meditation is not escape, but a return to the center of your being, where clarity lies. Remember, every moment, thought, and belief is a seed. What you plant, you will harvest in your emotions, relationships, and view of the world. Guard your mind like a treasure. Tend it with love, patience, and wisdom. Peace will no longer be something you chase. It will be something you carry deeply within. Lesson 6. The quiet strength beyond fear and shame. There are forces within us that move like shadows, quiet but powerful. Fear and shame. They are often not loud, but they weigh heavily, shaping the way we see ourselves and walk through life. Fear whispers about what we might lose. Shame tells us we are not enough. Together, they build invisible walls that keep us from speaking our truth, reaching toward our purpose, or being fully ourselves. In Buddhism, fear and shame are not seen as enemies to fight, but as illusions to understand. Fear is born from attachment, our need for control, our desire for certainty. We fear failure, rejection, or even success because each one threatens what feels familiar and safe. Shame, 2. Comes from attachment to how we believe we should be seen, and how we compare ourselves in the eyes of others. But the Dharma reminds us, emotions are not permanent. They arise and fall, like waves in water. They are not who we are, they are experiences passing through our awareness. To grow, we must turn toward these emotions, not away. We observe them gently, like a monk watching ripples in a still pond. We listen to the voice behind our fear, the story beneath our shame. And with patience, those voices begin to soften. The Buddha did not offer a life without fear, but a path to freedom. Freedom through clear seeing. When we realize that fear is not a command, but a passing sensation, when we see shame not as truth, but as a learned belief, we begin to reclaim our strength. Mindfulness is the key. It teaches us to hold emotions like we would hold a trembling bird gently, without judgment. We do not suppress them. We understand them. And in that understanding, transformation begins. Compassion must walk beside us. When fear rises, we offer kindness to ourselves. When shame tightens its grip, we breathe and remember, even this is worthy of love. The Buddha taught compassion for all beings, and we are not separate from that care. There is a saying, no snowflake ever falls in the wrong place. Every fear, every struggle, every emotion belongs in our journey. They are not mistakes, they are teachings. To overcome fear and shame is not to erase them. It is to see through them, and not obey their script. It is to live with gentle courage, to speak even when the voice trembles, to love even when the heart is unsure, to be fully human and fully free. So when fear visits you again, and it will welcome it as a teacher. When shame returns with its old story, smile softly and answer with silence. You are not broken. You are becoming. Lesson 7. Everyone you meet is a mirror. Everyone you meet is a mirror, a teacher offering a lesson. Life is not a straight road. It winds through moments of peace and discomfort. And along the way, you encounter many people. Some who soothe your soul, and others who test your patience. Buddhism teaches that each person, whether kind or difficult, reflects something back to you. This is not about excusing poor behavior, but about asking, what is this moment here to teach me? Often, those who stir us most reflect the parts of ourselves still bound by ego, reactivity, or expectation. When someone criticizes or offends you, the true lesson is not in what they say, but in how you respond. Your reactions are the mirror. The Buddha said patience is the highest form of spiritual practice, and it is tested not in silence, but in chaos. When you choose stillness over reaction, imagine a candle in the wind. Most flames flicker and fade, but mindfulness allows your light to remain steady, not by resisting, but by understanding. Each person who challenges you is not your enemy, but your trainer. And when you meet anger with compassion, you begin to see. Hurt people often act from unhealed wounds. Respond with wisdom, not bitterness. Set boundaries, but keep your heart soft. Let daily frustrations become your practice. This is not only about handling difficult people. Those who uplift you are mirrors too. They remind you what kindness feels like and who you wish to become. Everyone you meet can teach you something. A child, a stranger, even a critic. What they awaken in you is more important than who they are. So when you are triggered, pause. Notice the thought, the belief, the story that arises. That awareness is the lesson. The Buddha once asked, how well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go? Seeing others as teachers does not mean accepting harm. It means learning, then choosing your response wisely. Sometimes the lesson is to walk away with peace, not resentment. When you live this way, you stop resisting life. You begin to flow with it, finding wisdom in every encounter. Nothing is wasted. Everyone is a mirror, so the next time someone tests you, Breathe and ask, what is this moment revealing in me? Because in this life, every soul you meet is offering you a piece of your awakening. Lesson 8. Living in rhythm with nature. There is quiet wisdom in how rivers flow, how trees sway, and how the sun rises and sets. Buddhist teachings invite us not just to observe these rhythms, but to live in harmony with them. To live in tune with nature is to return to our natural state, not just the forests and oceans, but the flow of life itself. Slow, cyclical, and balanced. Modern life tells us to push and chase, often against the current. Buddhism gently suggests, move with life, not against it. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Like the seasons, we too are meant to change. Nature teaches impermanence. Leaves do not resist falling. The moon does not fight its fading. Everything changes. When we accept this, we begin to let go of control and find peace in the flow. This does not mean giving up, it means acting with balance, not force. A tree grows slowly but stands strong, like bamboo. We bend but do not break when rooted in our values. Knowing your limits is not failure. It is wisdom. In a world that demands too much, Buddhism reminds us that constant striving is not progress, it is burnout. True happiness does not come from more, but from contentment. Simplicity is not lack, it is clarity and presence. Nature thrives on balance. Trees do not hoard sunlight. Rivers do not fight for space. Everything takes only what it needs. Can we learn to live that way too? Mindfulness is how we reconnect with breath, with stillness, with the earth. When we slow down, the world begins to teach us. Our breath mirrors the tides. The silence of nature holds deep wisdom. Nature also teaches compassion, not just for others, but for all living things. When we understand we are part of the earth, we begin to walk with care and act from love. The Buddha said, just as a snake sheds its skin, we too must let go of the past. Like trees dropping old leaves, we are meant to renew. Living in rhythm with nature is a return to presence, a reminder that we are not separate from life, but part of its sacred dance. When life feels heavy, step outside. Let the wind speak. Watch the sky shift. And remember, you are not here to struggle endlessly. You are here to live in balance, and from that balance, peace will grow. Conclusion. And so, dear traveler, on this path of stillness, we come to the end of today's reflection. The truth you are seeking is not locked away in distant temples or ancient texts. It lies in the quiet choices you make, the gentle moments you cherish, and the imperfections you learn to embrace. Each teaching is more than just knowledge, it is an invitation to slow down, to breathe, and to remember that you are already whole. In a world that chases noise, you have chosen stillness. In a world that races forward, you are learning to simply be. That is not a small act, that is the beginning of awakening. If these words stirred something within you, a memory, a breath, or a quiet longing for peace, let that be your starting point. Like the video to honor the wisdom shared. And feel free to share in the comments which teaching resonated most with you today. Because here, we are not simply watching, we are awakening. Together. Until we meet again, walk gently, breathe deeply, and carry peace like a light within you. Subscribe and awaken your mind with Wisdom Kingdom.